This is a best weapons tier list for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is for multiplayer specifically I'm focused on this. And I was going to give you a rough idea of the best and worst guns. I'm going to explain each one. Hopefully it doesn't make the video take too long, but it's going to be a little bit of a longer video here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm just going to start from top left, I guess. So we got the PP919. Now here's the thing about this thing. I've seen a lot of people saying this thing is super good. And I want to tell you right now that this thing is pretty bad, actually. And the reason for this is that the reason people say it's good is because it has a longer range of damage for an SMG and has better recoil control for an SMG. So if you're trying to kill someone outside of SMG range, it can kill them pretty decently. The problem is if you're going to be using it, it's basically just a crummy assault rifle. There are assault rifles that have better time to kill and longer ranges than the PP919. So it's literally just a bait because people are like, well, I use this SMG. Wow, I can kill people at 30 meters. And it's like, why are you not just using the Model L? It's literally like almost the same thing, only very slightly slower. And the time to kill in the PP9 is terrible. It's as bad or it's worse than a lot of the assault rifles, and it's almost as bad as some of the slower assault rifles. It's just bad. It's just a bad gun. Next is the GPMG7 LMG. It's going to be in that C class too. Pretty much all the LMGs are just going to be in C class because they're noob traps. Like if you're going to use an LMG, you might as well just use an XM4 with the extended Mag 3 or something like that. Like if you want that much ammo in the gun, just go ahead and just use a super extended mag because the aim down sight speed of LMGs is so horrifically bad that you're better off just using an assault rifle with an extended mag that increases aim down sight speed is basically like the same thing or better than. So just LMGs are kind of noob traps. Next was 9mm. Starting off weak here with these guns. I'm going to put it in C tier. There's just better pistols. It's the only one you have at level 1 would be the only reason to use it. And then next up, another LMG. Kind of the same thing. I mean, some of these LMGs are better than the other LMGs, but they're all just, you shouldn't be using them, basically. Next up is the GPR. Man, we have a lot of C's in the beginning. So I'm putting GPR in C. I'm tempted to even put it in D. The reason for this, and this was my experience with it, was just that the recoil pattern on it was absolutely terrible. So like if you're going to use an assault rifle and you're going to go that route, there's better assault rifles. Like you should not just use this thing, in my personal opinion. Next up we have the AEK. Now this one, surprisingly, I'm going to put it in A because but the thing is, you have to be the kind of player who wants to use a 3-round burst gun, because the thing is that it has a 3-round burst. It has decent range on, I think 30 meters before fall off or something like that. But the thing is that if you hit all 3 anywhere on the body, then it's a 1-shot kill, sort of a 3-shot kill, so 1 burst kill. And if you land all 3 of those, the time to kill is faster than any SMG or anything. It's literally the fastest time to kill next to a 1-shot, like the LR 762 or a shotgun, right? So this literally has the fastest time to kill if you can hit all 3 shots, which makes it crazy. All right, then we have the Marine SP. This is, I'm going to go A tier just because it just depends. If you are on a payback, for example, this thing could be S tier. If you're on another map, you shouldn't even use a shotgun on certain maps. So like for a shotgun, it's S tier compared to the other, but there's only 2 shotguns in the game right now. So I'm just going to put it in A tier. I mean, because it has good range. So the thing with a shotgun is you only are going to get 1 shot at the higher level. Like at the level it puts me in, if I miss my shot with the shotgun, either of the shotguns, I'm dead before I get a second shot a lot of the time. So, you got to land the 1 shot that kills. And this one has a much better range to kill than the other shotgun does. So that's kind of why this one's here. The other shotgun will be lower when we get to it. Frostline D. Frostline, absolutely stupid to ever use it, unless there's some secret thing about it that I don't understand. It's basically just a worse sniper rifle. It has the same reload speed and everything basically as the LR762, but it kills from less of the body. So like it only hits, like by default only kills in the upper torso and the head and the upper arms, I think, where the LR762, which is basically the exact same stats of reload and all those things, the LR762 kills lower, and with the CHF barrels, kills even with a foot shot, where this thing with the CHF barrel only kills upper torso and mid torso. So it's a worse LR762. So it's D just because there's literally a choice that's identical that just kills better. All right, now we have the Model L. This one's definitely S tier. The reason for that is that the recoil control on it is probably the best for any of the assault rifles. Now, its time to kill is 400 milliseconds, which is not that great, actually. It's one of the slower assault rifles for time to kill. But if you're trying to kill someone at longer ranges, you're way less likely to miss a shot using the Model L, which then gives you a better time to kill. And it's mainly just the stability and consistency of the Model L just makes it a good all-around weapon. You can just grab a Model L, never swap weapons, never change class or anything, and you'll still get decent results just because of the recoil control, stability, consistency of it. Makes it really good. Next up, we have the Goblin MK2. I'm just going to put this in B tier. I've used it a little bit, but not much. It basically is just a meh assault rifle. Like, its time to kill is only, like, I think 15 milliseconds faster than the Model L, but its recoil is harder to control. It's like, it's one of those situations where if you're using the Goblin MK2, why are you not just using the Model L or the XM4 or something? Like, it's just stupid to use it when there's other choices that do the exact same thing, but just better. Next up, we have the Strider. So this thing, I'm just going to put in, I guess, just C tier. It's just, you have a pistol, and it's meh. It's just that there's better options, which brings me to the Grekova. This one is a full auto pistol. This thing, and if you get a Kimbo on it, can be really weird. I'm not sure if it's worth doing a Kimbo or not for the loss of stability and stuff, but basically the thing is it's basically an SMG. So if you don't want to run the overkill perk, you basically get an SMG as your secondary, like a poopy SMG, and so you're out of ammo, you swap, and it's just it's the best choice in the pistol slot. The only other option, and I'm going to put this one either B or A. It's kind of hard to make up my mind on this one. I haven't tested this myself. I don't have time to level it up. I'm going to put it in B just for safety reasons. The GS45, if you get leveled up and you get the akimbo on it, which is dual wielding, it does enough damage to kill in 2 shots. So theoretically, you could swap to the akimbo GS45 at close range, and you would one-shot kill someone. You just shoot both at the same time, and then, you know, bam, they're dead. So, I mean, in theory, maybe that'd be insane, but I know I've seen a lot of, like, pros and stuff playing, and nobody runs that. So, there's probably some catch, like, the accuracy's so bad that you don't actually pull that off a lot of it. It's inconsistent. The Grekova is just better, like, you know, in general. Having an SMG is more reliable, but, you know, it's better than the other pistols for that reason. You just gotta land 2 shots, so it's, like, a little bit more consistent, be able to pull that off. Then we have the AK-74. This one, again, is just, I'm just going to put it in B tier, purely... not because the AK-74 is bad, but mainly because the Model L and XM4 are just better. Like, if you're using the AK-74, just go use the better assault rifle. Like, now this could change in the future, but as of right now, I'm making this video on November 7th at the current patch, and it's just one of the situations where the other assault rifles are runaways. So it's like these ones are just not as good, generally speaking. Then we have the SVD. So I'm going to put this one in B tier, and if you're playing at a higher level, it might be D tier. But the reason I put it in B is because at lower skill ratings and stuff, it can be all right. Because the thing is that it's still a one-shot kill to the upper body, but if you miss, you get to it has a way high, it's 3 times faster fire rate than the LR762. So if you're playing against people who are not as good, and you actually might have a chance for more than 1 shot, then you miss, and then you hit, or you miss, and then you hit. It's just that once you get to really high skill rating lobbies, it's you miss, and then they mow you down with the Model L before you even get a second shot. And so because of that, it's in high rank lobbies, it's terrible. It's the same thing as the Frostline. But at low rank lobbies where people don't react as fast, you might, like, especially if you're at a really low rank lobby, like if you're like the bottom 50% of skill rating or something like that, it's actually probably better just because you get more shots and people don't react nearly as fast. So you could actually get like 3 chances at that chest shot instead of just 1. So for that reason, I'll just put it in B because it depends on your you know, where you are in the game. Then we have the Ames 85. Again, it's just going to be B tier. Like, it's an assault rifle. It could work if you want to use it, but it's just a crappier Model L, basically, so in my opinion. So it's just why use it. And then we have the SWAT 5.56. So for this one, basically, this thing goes in D tier, and the only reason for that is it's exactly the same as the AEK 973, but slower time to kill. That's it. It's literally the exact same gun, but if all 3 shots hit, it's, I think, like 280 millisecond time to kill. And so at that point, what are you doing? Just use... the only reason you would use this is you just prestiged and you don't have the AEK unlocked yet. That's the only reason you would use this. So otherwise, just use the AEK. It's literally a better SWAT. Then we have the rocket launchers. Like, I don't know, man. The rocket launcher is so rarely used. I'm just going to put it in, I don't know, I'm going to put both of them in C tier because I'd haven't enough time to play with them, but they're literally just for killing UAVs and things like that, okay? And I don't know that it's even worth using them. Honestly, I might want to put them in D tier. I did try using them before for killing people, and it was funny as hell, but the aim down sight speed is so bad that you just have to walk around and aim in ADS, or you have to just be watching the ground on a corner and then shoot the second someone comes around and immediately duck behind the wall so you don't get killed. It's a troll weapon. Like, it's funny as hell to use, but there might be a purpose. I'm gonna wait and see, because I'm not sure, about like getting counter UAVs and taking out the helicopters and things, how it fares for all that. Like, I haven't actually played with that enough, so maybe we'll put it in C to be safe, Next up is the ASG-89 shotgun. So, we have the Marine SP in A. I'm going to put this thing in, I don't know, I'll say B, because if you are in a lower skill rating lobby, then you get away with this more, because, again, people don't react as fast, so you get a chance to just be like, pop, 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 and shoot like 3 of them. Where at the higher rank lobbies, you only have time for 1, maybe 2 shots if you're lucky. But the range that you want to use the Marine SP at, or the shotgun at, chances are you're facing some guy who has an assault rifle or an SMG, and their time to kill is going to be faster than your second shot, and they're going to hit it. And so you're not getting a second shot at the range you want to use this at, unless you just way reacted faster, like way faster. I might even put it in C, but we'll put it B, because, again, the lower your skill rating, the more valuable it's going to be, and the less valuable the Marine SP is. But the Marine SP is so good if you can land the shot. It's just the one shot, all the way up to like 8 meters or something like that. Just don't use the slugs on it anymore unless they patch it back. The slug doesn't one-shot anymore. So it's actually better to not use the slug, because then it'll one-shot up to like, I think it's like 8 meters or something like that. Where the ASG only one-shots up to like 3 meters or something along those lines. So that's the reason why it's better to use Marine SP. Then we have the Tonto. So this one, I'm going to put it in A. It's actually really bad, but I have seen... So it's a really weird weapon. So it does a 3-shot kill at really close range. But even with that 3-shot kill at close range, it kills slower than most of the other SMGs. The thing about it, though, is... I mean, I've seen people who... There was a guy in one of my lobbies, and I played pretty high MMR lobbies. This guy got 46 kills in a game using the Tonto as his primary weapon. So I can't, for that reason, I'm like, even though on paper it's bad, that guy was living proof that he was doing something right. Maybe he was just better, and it didn't matter what he was using, though. I don't know. And he wasn't the only guy I've ever seen do that. But the thing is that its time to kill is slower than most of the other SMGs. Even though, like, a 3-shot kill, that means it killed fast. No, when you do the math, 3-shot kill is not that fast, actually. It's actually slower than the other SMGs. The thing is, though, because it's only 3 shots to kill, you don't have to fight as much recoil, so you're more likely to land those 3 shots. The other catch is, though, that its range on that is extremely low. I think it was, I'm actually looking up right now, it's 6 meters it's effective. After that, it's not a 3-shot kill anymore. So that's what gets kind of weird with that one. If you're at that range, though, you're not going to miss no matter what recoil you have. So, like, I would put it in B, but I've seen people pop off with it so much that I'm going to put it in A. Like, I don't, like, there's something about it that it just does really good anyway. Even though on paper and the numbers, it's not good. So for the Jackal PDW, I'm going to put this thing in B tier. Or maybe even, no, actually, I think I'll put it in C tier. It's kind of another SMG that wants to be an assault rifle. The time to kill is kind of slow. There's just better SMGs. So I just don't see any reason to use it, basically. The AS Val, I'm actually putting this in A tier. So this one's a unique assault rifle. This is the one assault rifle that is an assault rifle trying to be an SMG, which is a lot better than an SMG trying to be an assault rifle. So its fall-off range is like 30 or 35 meters or something like that. Maybe it's 25. I can't remember. But so it has a longer effective range. And inside that effective range, it's basically an SMG. Inside that effective range, it has a time to kill, I think, of 333 or something milliseconds, which would make it like the 4th, I think, fastest gun in the game for the SMGs and assault rifles. But then you have an assault rifle. It's harder to control than the Model L by a lot, but not by an insane amount. But then you get that faster time to kill at close range. So, and you could extend it some with an attachment. So it's kind of a weird scenario. There's certain maps where a lot of the fights happen within 30 meters. But a lot of them happen between 20 and 30 meters. And on maps like that, the Val is going to get a lot of value. The catch is at 50 plus meters, its time to kill is way slower because of the damage fall off. So it's more map specific than the other ones, but it basically is an assault rifle being an SMG, which is actually pretty decent. Pretty decent choice. And then we got the Sarkov 7.62. So I'm putting this one in B tier. Now, this one is a special weapon for a special kind of player. It's actually D tier normally, but I'm putting it B tier. And the reason being, it's a one-shot headshot. So if you think you can hit the headshots, by all means, run it. If you can hit the headshots, it's literally the best weapon in the entire game, hands down. There's literally nothing that will ever be better than this gun if you can always hit headshots. Good luck. But if you don't hit headshots, it's a 600 millisecond time to kill, which is pretty rough. It's terrible. So that's up to you. If you're the kind of player where your goal is hitting headshots, then this thing's broken. So, or at least it's the thing that you want to work on, that you want to work towards or work with. You know what I mean? So you give it a shot. That's literally the situation with that one. I'm going to put the melee weapons in D tier. Obviously, melee weapons are just kind of troll. Like, yeah, you can get away with it, but unless you're in low-rank lobbies, you're almost never going to kill someone with a melee weapon. And then XM4, this is the next S tier. So the situation is XM4 has a 25 millisecond faster time to kill than the Model L, but it's slightly harder to control than the Model L. So if you have trouble controlling your gun, you pick the Model L for that maximum recoil consistency. But if that's way too easy, then you could get the XM4 for that slightly faster time to kill, but then slightly harder to control recoil. Then the compact, up in this S tier. Maybe other people have other opinions, but this has the fastest time to kill in the entire game for SMGs and assault rifles at 275 milliseconds. So because of that, the thing is, its range is like 11 meters right now, effective range. If you're using an SMG, you're going to be in the effective range, or else your SMG, you might as well use an assault rifle. So if you're in that range, though, inside that range, recoil doesn't matter because you're so close that you can control the recoil and hit your shots. The compact has kind of rough recoil. Not the roughest, but pretty freaking bad. But if you're within 11 meters, it's not going to stop you from hitting your shots. And if you hit your shots, it kills people instantly. Like, it's not... Obviously, the Marine SP is going to be better than at point blank because you'll one-shot, but it will mow people down so fast. It's crazy. And then at the 15-plus meter range, you still have a gun if you don't have time to swap weapons, which is otherwise you would just use Marine SP, I guess. So at like the 8 to 15 meter range, it's way better Marine SP. And it's just the best SMG. In my opinion, it's literally just the best SMG. If you're gonna use SMG, use this. If you're gonna be fighting at 20 meters and beyond, use an assault rifle, like which would be the army, like the PP919. It's an SMG that's actually not bad to use at 20 to 25 meters. But if you're planning to use your SMG at 20 to 25 meters, just use the Model L. The PP9's time to kill is about the same as the Model L. Just use the Model L. Like, why are you using a PP919? What are you doing? That's kind of the situation. C9, this one's B tier. Its time to kill is the third fastest at like 375 or no, sorry, 325 or 330, something like that. I forget offhand. And it's easier to control than the compact, if I remember this right. But it's just, why not just use the compact? The compact's just better. KSV, it is the second fastest at 300 millisecond time to kill, and it's on paper, the numbers the game shows, it's easier to control it horizontally, but its recoil pattern has big jumps to the left and the right during the pattern. So in my opinion, you will be way more likely to miss a shot with the KSV than the compact, but then you'll also get slower time to kill. But the time to kill is still so good, and a lot of people say they like it, so I'm putting it in A tier because it's still good. It's just, I would think if you're going to use it, why are you not using the compact? Like, you just want to kill them instantly if you're within 10 meters, and that's what the compact's going to do for you. Then the XMG is a light machine gun. That's noob trap again. If you want to use an LMG, you're probably better off using an XM4 with extended mag 3. Because the ADS speed is just so bad on the LMGs. It's just, why would you not just use an assault rifle? LR762, this is S tier, so this is the sniper rifle to use. If you put the CHF underbarrel on it, it'll one-shot them anywhere in their body, even in the toes. So the thing is that, especially at higher MMR, if you peek for a snipe shot, you only get one shot. It doesn't matter if you have the SVD or what, you're going to get one shot and then you're dead. So at lower ranks, SVD has more, could potentially be okay because you might get 2-3 shots before they start shooting back. At high ranks, they shoot back instantaneously, so you better land that shot or it's all over. You try to peek, shoot, and then hide, and even then you might die before you get back behind the cover. So LR762 is going to be your go-to for everything sniping in this game. DM10 is a really weird weapon. So DM10 I'm going to put in B tier, and so the situation is it has the same time to kill as Model L, but it's semi-auto. So you're actually going to get slower time to kill because of spacing between, button presses or trigger fires or whatever. So you're probably effectively going to get 450 millisecond time to kill. So it's slower time to kill than Model L, but it's easier to control than the Model L because you just got to hit, I think it was 2 shots or 3 shots. I think it was 2. You hit 2 shots and then they're dead. So you don't have to fight the recoil of one shot. So, you know, it's for a certain type of player. Some people, I've seen a few people at higher MMRs use it, but most people don't, and that's probably for a reason, you know. So Model L is probably just a better option than this, but if it really suits the way that you play and it just clicks with you, then it's actually not a bad option. It's actually viable, but it's going to be a little bit slower than the others, so you might get, if they hit all their shots, you're going to lose, unless you reacted way faster. So it's in a weird spot. It's just hard to predict, so I'm putting it in the middle. You know, it's going to be a player-specific kind of one. So this was my tier list. So this gives you a ballpark estimate. You know, some of these things maybe you could swap around a little, but most of these are pretty spot on. This is from my own play at super high MMR lobbies. I've watched other high MMR lobbies from other people. I've seen some other videos what people think. I'm putting all this information together, packaging it for you into a tier list. This is Season 0, November 7th, 2024. This will change as they patch the game and change the numbers on the guns. But as of right now, hopefully this video helps, because I'm trying to explain to you not just, oh, this gun's good. I'm explaining why this is good, the time to kill, the recoil, you know, this versus that. Like, some of these are only bad because there's a better option, you know what I mean, in that same class. So I just hope this video was able to give you a much better idea of what you want to run. So hopefully now you have a better idea of what gun is right for you and what the best guns are in Black Ops 6.